Simos. And Monkfish. Hard shots and
Yo, welcome back. It's Sim Card, Simmer Frame. Fucking who gives a rat's who I am, but let's keep going.
And Monkfish, how you all getting on? We fucking the big man, the big Shaq here with us now.
I don't know what to say.
He's hosting with us this week.
Wee traveller man loves to shag them all in the transit van.
And we have Mrs.
And
Miss in number 5 in Miss Ireland.
Mr.
Mr. Ireland.
Harley was
Something I didn't tell anyone.
Oh my god. Were you actually?
What?
Yeah, she was ranked in 5th, was it?
Yeah, well, it's top 5.
So
Top
were in not Mr. Ireland, obviously.
Not
Obviously
Mr. What's going on here?
She just stuck a big strap on
Miss
and walked in and
Ireland
went,
was
how
it?
is getting
In
on?
this day and
I wasn't, no one
age, in this day and age, you could probably be Mr. Ireland.
That's true actually,
To the
yeah.
politically correct.
Do you know who was
world
actually
we're
good
in.
looking?
PC culture.
Remember your
Samantha
man
Mumba.
on the Eurovision with the beard
Who? Oh,
and the
yeah.
long black hair?
But his hair was so stunning.
Oh,
like, turned and he
Conchita
had a
Wurst.
beard.
What a good
See,
looking.
right, see, I
He's
have to
stunning.
say it's spelled with a W because he
Is that fella with that song?
is
Yeah,
because
it's
he's
really
from like Germany.
You
You say verse.
Is that song?
No, not him.
Conchita Verse.
Conchita Wurst.
I thought it was Konnichiwa. Is that not like Italian?
No, that's hello in Japanese.
That's not actually what it was.
Here we have Konnichiwa coming on, everyone just goes, how are you getting on?
No, it's Conchita Verse, but his real name is Tom. He's from Israel.
Tom from Israel.
That's on road.
Tom from
Oh my god,
Israel.
so on the Israel topic, have you watched Tinder Swindler?
No, but I know all about it.
Ew.
Why is that Israel topic? What's...
He's from there, is he not?
No way.
Some geezer from Israel was like robbing everyone. He was probably a traveller, and that's probably what I was saying.
Are you from
Israel?
Or from
An
Tala.
Israeli traveller called Tom.
And
Never heard that.
he was fooling like women out of money.
But come on, let's be real. Like,
But
you have
how?
to be thick on the first. You don't
Imagine saying like my enemies are after me. I know you a week, send me 10 grand.
Yeah,
You'd be
like,
like, fuck.
how thick
no.
you
I
have to
think
be.
sometimes it
You
was
got me
like,
in for a shock when we text you next week. How we going, Shannen?
no, but
Our
lads,
enemies
it
are after us.
it
Should
was
just send us
ruined
10
them
grand?
for like
Send
2
us 20 on
months.
Revolut.
Yeah.
Please.
And there were specific types of women that like.
Yeah, he'd prey on.
No, they're the types he could like.
They were good looking though.
They were good
Were
looking,
they?
but they were
Yeah.
vulnerable. Clearly.
Yeah, I don't think they ever had boyfriends.
I mean, they took out one at $250,000 that she owed because she took out loads of loans and he gave her fake bank accounts so that she could up the loans. And she carried it in
Right.
cash across the world.
Oh my god, what about crypto?
No, because it couldn't go into banks because they were getting
That's not
followed
what
by
I
these
mean.
weirdos.
He's
and
like
stuff.
he's like a modern day Leonardo DiCaprio in that film Catch Me If You Can. Did you ever see that
Maybe
film?
that's what he went off.
Maybe because he's in planes and all.
And he gets all the
Jets.
Polish
But
women
apparently
to
his
bring the-
uncle was like
It
owned a
died.
jet, and it was a pilot, so that's how he got on it.
This is a true
Oh.
story.
Well,
No,
and
it's
is
Yeah, it
that
is, and now he has a TikTok and all now. He's
just
and is
Tom
that
from
picture
Israel.
really him in the jet?
Yeah.
That's
Would
going
he
around.
swindle you? Like if you looked at him,
Would you?
fall for
I
him?
think you
No, I
go for
wouldn't
him.
say no. Actually, some
Tom
guy,
from Israel.
some geezer the other day was
Some
like,
geezer.
was trying to
That's
get me
English
to
coming
bed.
out of him, isn't it?
Yeah.
Trying to get me to
You
set
actually
up.
have a bit of an English twang now that
You
I
can
listen
hear
to
when
it.
he's talking now. You become black girl.
Some fella was like asking me to set up him a grinder and all this stuff and a PayPal and all this stuff and trying to get me to follow links and all. I was like, I'm not fucking
Don't click
stupid.
any of those links,
No,
man.
I'm
Take
from
your page.
Ballymun.
I'm the same. I
You
click
got
on.
one?
No, I'm from Ballymun. You're not going to con me. We normally do
Yeah,
conning.
that's it.
Do you know what I mean?
I'm the same. I'm forever clicking on them Tesco €50 vouchers.
Oh my god.
Really?
Oh, I want to win them.
Hey,
Oh,
but you remember when all the Instagram accounts were getting hacked recently, only like last month or
I
something?
clicked into something and then I actually went on. I cleared all my history because I thought my page was getting deleted.
But I have a
Did it
screenshot.
what, like a message
Yeah,
off someone?
guys,
It
don't
was
be
like,
doing
oh, I
that.
created this for you. It took me hours, and then
Don't
they
be-
texted
Oh,
me.
you got one of them.
They told me their page
follow
was
it.
hacked then.
Don't go near it.
Yeah, but I was
like,
just
just
texting them
fair
back
play to
like
him.
it was normal, and they were like, "You're so rude." No, just send me your phone number.
I was like, that's what I was like, here's
I know
fucking Yo from school
he
years
sent me a
ago.
picture.
Yeah, someone that you
I have
never
a picture
spoke
of a
to in so
man,
long.
an African man on my phone. On the other side, and the page is a white person.
No, they are getting more clever though, because the person that
they're
texts us.
hacking your friends' Facebooks and then sending you through
Yeah,
that.
but the person
Yeah,
that
same.
texts
Them
us.
phone calls actually, and it's like an 085 number, and then it
Yeah.
tells you like.
From
Oh,
you-
do you know
from
how you
Uganda
cop? Do you know how you
something.
cop them? Your
I'm
own
not
phone
even on
number, your last 2 digits is in the end of it. That's how you cop them.
Yeah, it's probably our little scruffy scumbag exes that's doing it.
I wouldn't
Oh
surprise
my
me.
god.
All the little weirdo trolls that are jealous of
Oh
everyone.
my
That's probably
goodness.
what it is.
Spend their life doing that different SIM cards. Every
No,
day.
but what,
Yeah.
but what a way to make money though.
Making fake
Scamming people?
profiles and
No, swindling. We call it swindling.
Is swindling a
Swindling
fancy
is like a
word just for
fancy word
scamming?
for it.
Of isn't it?
Am I a scammer if I get a sugar daddy? Because I
No.
think
You're sending money for pictures of your feet.
I'm fucking no. That's OnlyFans. I do that already.
Do you?
But
Do you?
what I'm saying is, if I get not even like sending a fucking photo, I'm talking about doing nothing but some old like
I get
rich
messages
geezer
like
sends
that.
me money.
No way.
I don't think that's bad. Is
No,
it?
it's
Reply
not.
to them.
Do you get
I'm
messages
afraid
like
to
that?
reply to them because I
No,
think
don't
they're fake
reply
people.
to them. But I'm just thinking like, is it bad if I did have one?
No.
Here, what is the craziest
wanna
request
pay you,
you've
so,
got
like-
on OnlyFans?
I actually
Like,
got
do you
asked
interact
something
with your like
disgusting.
followers?
Did
I'm
you?
not on OnlyFans,
Like,
but
how
on
does
my
it-
Instagram I got something disgusting.
No way,
To
on
send a pair of
Instagram?
knickers that I've already worn, and they'd give me $500.
People do
Oh,
that.
I would have done it. I would have done it.
Yeah,
of
but
course
I was like, but I always think that it's somebody
People
trying
do
to
that,
catch
and
me
do you
out
know,
and then
actually-
screenshot the messages. It could
Yeah.
be some random like.
I went deep into that shit, right? People, the freakiest stuff that people got, and someone done that, right? But you know what someone used to do? They used to go and no, I know this is
Fart
a bit.
in the jar and
No,
sell
I
it.
know this is a bit vulgar, right? But know that the acid thing that happens on women's underwear. Not the way to get the faint thing because of the
So,
acid.
I've heard of
Like
it,
a
but I've
discharge
never
thing.
obviously
Yeah,
seen
Right.
it.
but you know the way their underwear like sometimes gets
Yeah.
Yeah.
like faded or whatever. Someone was going and collecting that and cutting them off and framing them in the house.
That's creepy. Isn't it?
That
How weird
You
is
know the
that?
Texas Chainsaw Massacre is
That's-
based
yeah.
on a real man called Ed Gleave. I know what he used to do in his local town when there'd be funerals, he'd dig up the dead bodies of the women and cut off their vulvas and keep them in jars.
No
So that's why
way.
the
I love
Texas
how
Chainsaw
I
Massacre-
love how you know that.
It was, he had a
Yeah.
face
You know,
full
really
of fannies.
interesting.
You know
Really
what?
wrong.
And
It's
I-
called Ed
So-
Gleave.
Yeah, I was there.
So he had a fanny face
I was
basically
there.
walking around.
That-
That's
house
the
is a
ideas, he
real
kept
house.
The flesh, no, like that.
And he
so like-
used it.
Yes, he kept them in jars as like little ornaments. Sorry, I don't know why I'm apologising
Yeah,
to the
okay.
wire.
Totally.
Too many
Yeah,
drinks.
but see,
You keep them all around the fucking free.
I
No
was there on
way.
Halloween. I was there in 2015 at that. That's a real house in Texas.
Yeah, but he wasn't mentally okay, which is why like
No.
the character wasn't clearly.
No, obviously, yeah.
So
I
did he
get you.
get
Yeah,
done?
but
Did
it's
he
not
get offered
fucking
that 'cause he
normal
was
if you're going
mentally
around chopping
weird?
people.
No, like
I think
obviously
he
he was
might
never.
have been killed, and was he killed? Was he
Yeah. In the
sentenced to
film, he
death?
was killed.
I've always seen this, but after about 2 weeks of it, I was finding myself being like, "Gee, am I bad? Am I all these things? Was I really ignorant? Like, finding
Yeah, like,
yourself,
yeah.
you're gaslighting yourself a load of fucking
Start questioning
bastards.
yourself.
You know, I
But
only
really, I know
Googled that.
exactly who I am.
Yeah, exactly.
See,
yeah.
I only recently Googled that gaslighting to see what it meant because I kept hearing gaslighting.
It's like a form of manipulation.
yeah,
and abuse.
manipulation. Yeah, and then.
Do you know why it's called gaslighting? And look at my little fact again.
I love
There
it.
was a film
love this.
called and in the film, the woman was being
Manipulated.
coercive abused by her husband,
Right.
and this is why that type of abuse is called gaslighting.
Yeah. Very good, Joey.
This
Very
is
good.
this
No
is travel
way.
from
But
Ballymun.
like, see,
look
like
how
I
smart
dislike people, right? Like I do dislike. Like I have a lot of people that I dislike. I don't like to use the word hate because
No,
like that's
because
really
hate.
strong.
You need a
Like,
lot.
it's
You need
not
a lot
nice,
of energy
like,
for the
yeah.
hate.
But like I dislike people, but I would never take to social media or like a forum every day and focus on them. I'd block them because seeing them would annoy me because I don't
course,
like
yeah,
them.
yeah.
So I'm like, these people must not hate you. They must secretly. They must
Um,
like
No,
you or
it's
have a love for you.
obsession.
because
Obsession, yeah.
If they didn't like you, you'd be so pissed
they
off
obviously
looking
do
at them.
like
They're
you a bit.
obviously fixated on you. which
They
is
want your
weird.
attention.
jealous, they're
They want your
jealous.
attention.
But can I
scary,
say,
like-
you know what kind of gives you an insight? Do you ever see Don't Mess with Cats?
No.
Yeah,
What
that
is
Do you see the way?
fucking free.
Did you never see that? Don't Mess
No.
with Cats.
No.
Ah, seriously.
Oh, honest
is
to
that?
God.
But the way they fixated on the people on social media didn't even know each other, but they were making these Facebook groups to go and like say they took a picture of me and him, and they'd be looking in the picture and say they seen like
a packet of fags.
a packet of fags. They'd be googling where the fags are made
Yeah,
and where
right.
they and
Oh, right,
So
yeah.
there's a geezer called Lucas
What?
Magnotta.
Magnotta,
He's
yeah.
Canadian.
Yeah.
He's in
You
prison.
guys-
French
you're so
French
clever.
He's
Canadian.
got like 40
What
years
is
in
going on?
prison.
You're like a book with a big
He
ass
used
on
to be a
it.
gay porn star.
Yeah.
Is it kind of weird that after I watched that I've googled his gay porn? Is that kind of weird?
No, that's
Was he
it.
hot?
No. Sometimes we go down that
He's a
rabbit
skinny
hole.
little
but
dweeb.
we'll say
But he
nothing.
was like a prolific attention seeker, so he used to like make fake pages and deliberately put content into them that would grab at people's attention.
Yeah, like he'd make his
Oh, so
own.
he wanted
He's
to,
He
yeah.
fake.
killed like kittens on camera.
And then they were like looking at where the blanket was made.
Where,
Where-
like,
doing it?
where the Hoover was from,
Yeah.
to try to figure out how we could find where he's from in the world. And then eventually he'd done a video live killing a man, really, really.
Real.
Oh my god. was
Isn't
he,
there a
like-
film on
was he,
that?
like,
Yeah,
dressed up
on
the
Netflix.
camera?
Isn't
Yeah,
there a film on
weird.
that?
Yeah, oh my god, that's
Oh,
you
maybe
should
it's
watch
one
it.
of
Yeah, and it's
But-
called Don't
Wait,
Fuck
watch
with
that.
Don't
Cats.
fuck with cats. But what I'm trying to say is from that, it's mad how like the social
so much
media.
detail that we
they-
never look at. Yeah.
Sorry.
and that's what I'm trying to
sorry,
say.
they're watching literally
It
everything.
wasn't a,
Yeah, okay.
it wasn't a film.
Actually, that
I'm,
happened to me last year. I was filming for a show and I was home, but I didn't want to say I was home yet. So I was like walking to my local place getting a coffee, and they googled the sugar on the. They googled the
No
sugar and said that
way.
sugar is from Dublin. It's not from England. I'm
And that-
home. They knew I was home before I even said I was
That's
home.
like that's what I'm
Because of
saying.
the
There's
sugar
these
on the
people,
thing.
like these
I
people
feel
have
like
fuck
stuff.
all
Oh
to
my
do.
Yeah,
God.
that's actually exactly like that. Yeah.
That's I was thinking. I thought it was a film. It actually wasn't. It was a TikTok. So there was a page, right, and it was this weird fella in America somewhere, and he was putting up videos of himself, and he like showing body parts on the camera, and then people are like, "What the fuck is this real or not? Like, is he faking it?" But then people start like going into the back and seeing like security cameras on his computer, and they were black and white, but then people were going and getting better quality and then finding out the
And blowing
road,
up with it.
and then there was a lawnmower and they found out the make of the lawnmower and then tracked back to
Guys.
where he bought it.
Look at me, my hand up like I'm in school teacher.
Can I talk?
But can
No,
I
but
just
they-
say
but-
something?
but they
I
went
love
back-
how we think this is so smart. It's such an obvious thing to do.
No, but
You gotta
yeah.
find out with
Yeah,
some
but would you have the
years.
mentality?
No, but what?
Yeah, but like
the
the
nuts
effort
thing
If
was
you're
not the
out there for
nuts.
4 days, you'd definitely be
The
doing
nuts
it.
thing
Yeah.
was
You know
the fact
exactly
that they
what
went.
everybody was doing,
The
and he
weirdest
was doing
thing
Hold on, wait.
was the fact that they went and got the make of the lawnmower, went around that area to where all the lawnmowers were sold, then found out who bought all the lawnmowers,
love
and then
that.
found him,
But what
It is
a what an
and he was killing people.
It's dedication.
but
on
what a,
TikTok.
yeah, like dedication, so much effort, so
no, but
much
if he was killing
time.
people, I get why you'd want to like
If
get
you
to the end of it,
dedicated
but not if you're just like.
That
Someone
much
got a medal
to
anyways
like a
for it.
fucking business, you'd be a multi-millionaire.
Yeah, like why put
Show
why
you how
don't
I was
smart you
thinking
are.
about that before.
put it into
though.
good, put it into
Setting
good.
up
Get
like
you
a
on it, you
FBI
fucking-
thing, like I'd be smart at stuff
We
like
should
that.
just set up a like a
You know, like-
facts TV show and just let you just
No,
talk.
yeah,
about-
remember the. I don't think we would say it just in case someone robs our idea. But imagine, remember the idea we said in the car yesterday about the little panel show we could have with
Little
him
panel
on it.
show
What's this?
with Yui on it and Shannon will be on it
Shannon,
as
if she
well.
wanted.
This is going to be a
Yeah, we
casting
cut this
couch.
out, but here we keep it in if you
Casting
want.
couch,
This
yeah.
is
Call-
going to be a casting
we could
couch.
Gonna be a
call
different
it.
show
It would
altogether
it'd be
then.
called hashtag no filter.
Hashtag
And we
no.
just go
And
on and
talk
say
about
ah,
everything and anything.
But I like that though because I don't have filter, and that's how I've got myself in trouble in the past. I just
Hashtag
say it
no
how it is.
filter.
But this is
But
hashtag
I've
no
learned
filter.
to like, but like I used to just.
And
flip
right
out
before
and-
it, you should just
But I
say,
like that though.
we're gonna say shit in this. And
Disclaimer.
Disclaimer.
you're going to be offended, and if you're gonna
Yeah.
be offended, don't
Like
listen
what
to
them
it.
ladies they
Then
want
no,
to.
like
They
that,
chat
if
about
you don't like
everything what's
someone,
going
why
on.
follow them?
But
Just block them.
True.
Like,
But
you
imagine
don't
having
need to
social
follow them, I'm
media
not begging you
stars
to.
or what reality TV stars like yourselves and a big panel.
Reality TV though.
That's where I'm going.
What was
That's a
the auditioning
strange
like?
topic,
Yeah,
isn't
Yeah,
it?
you've done so much. You've
I
done
mean, it's
amazing.
mostly the last year I have, if I'm honest with you. I went to like England for years and was with someone.
But what were you doing? Like, what
Who?
were you saying to yourself? Like,
Voldemort.
Oh
He
my
shall not be
god!
I'm joking. It was a joke, like, 'cause when she went to like, he who shall not
No,
be
just-
named.
Yeah.
but what did they ask you? Like,
Everyone
what did
knows,
they?
like-
What did they say to you? Like, what they just like? Do they have a certain amount of questions and they say, right,
It's a
answer all
criteria you
these?
have to meet.
See, I want to know about Love Island because
So,
I
yeah,
Yeah,
true.
and I'd
haven't
love to because
done-
I would have loved to Big Brother.
Yeah.
Like, that would have been my
Wait, let's
favourite
hear this.
show.
Because
Right,
I
go,
know
let's-
that.
Let's go audition stage.
Right then, so I know that Love Island probably has a much tougher protocol and stuff because of ITV and stuff like
Yeah,
that than
completely
some of the
different channels,
channels
isn't it?
I've been on because that's more family friendly. Like if you look at MTV and Channel 5, it's like sex and this, that and the
Like
next.
after hours kind of thing.
So that
isn't it?
seems
Yeah.
to be all right. So when you auditioned like for Love Island, because like that's such a monstrous show.
Yeah.
How does that even happen?
So I was literally like I think it was 8,000 followers, like just not like was normal.
Yeah.
There was a bit following, but I didn't like I wasn't known for really. I just known in Dublin,
Yeah.
and then a casting person texted me and she was like, casting agent. She was like, "Hi, I just want to give you a call, like, see if you want to go on Love Island." But I automatically, because I think they were worth everything. I
You
was
thought
like,
it was
"Oh, this
fake.
is
You
a
thought it
fake
was
page."
fake,
I
yeah.
was like, "Someone
Some
set me
sex
up."
trafficker.
Yeah, something weird. But I was like, "I'll take the
God.
call," because I was literally just newly single, and I was like, "You know what? I want to see what this is about." So she rang me, and then within a week, I was in London for the audition.
Wow.
So it was like, yeah, I did, because I never really knew about it. I was only the third series, so it was still quite.
But
When
like,
I
how
was
was
on it,
it-
it wasn't
but
that
how-
big.
but
How
how
did she
did
convince you?
You know what I mean?
That's what I
She-
want
I
to
don't know.
know.
I just liked her vibe on the phone.
Did
She
you
was
start
really
having phone
nice
calls and all?
Yeah,
Yeah.
like I had a phone call with her, and she was like, "I'll book your flights now." And the minute I see my flight, I was like, "Well, she's
But can I
already
be
like, what do
real
I
on
have to
this?
lose?" Like, you know what I mean?
How did you feel that like they didn't really show you that much?
Well, I think like that second
What was
bit,
that
I think
all
going
about?
in with Castamore is just like you don't have a great.
Wait,
chance.
let's get into it.
Right.
Let her
you
go through the
definitely have a
auditioning
great
stage.
chance.
So
You know what I
your series was the first series with Casa Amor, but
Yeah.
like to go back a little bit, like with the audition stage, right? So you done the
Oh,
whole
I thought I was literally like
contacted.
in the first villa because they loved me.
Yeah.
But like, because I mean, like, I would be quite shy in real life, but when I put it on, I put it on.
But what
Oh,
you
I
mean?
was,
They, what do you
saying
mean?
mad stuff in it, like,
Deadly.
and they were just like cracked up the whole time. You know, I felt they were like, "You've such a big personality, like you're from Ireland, blah blah blah." And they said to me like, "Oh, we'll let you know." And, like within 2 weeks, I knew I was going on the show. But I didn't
What
know.
month was that? What month were you contacted
Yeah.
So
in?
I went over in March, and I knew. No, actually,
Hold
I went
for
over. I
beep.
went over in February.
What's going on?
What was that?
Hold for beep and carry on.
Carry on.
Um,
Went over.
I went over in February, and it was the day before Paddy's Day. They called me to say
Yeah.
that I was going
What
to be
a
on
day.
the show that year.
Yeah,
It's
and that was
actually Paddy's Day, 'cause I
starting.
said Happy St. Patrick's Day.
It started in June.
That's lucky.
Started in June.
Started in May. I think
May.
it was at the end of May.
So
But I had my
you.
case packed from April because I didn't know when it was going on.
And like, do they give you money to buy clothes or what was going
No,
on?
I had my wardrobe, but luckily I kind of had. I had
Did you not have
8,000
sponsors?
followers.
No, I think
I
that's
got my
now.
own sponsors.
Now they're boohoo,
Yeah.
aren't they?
Right
I
then.
think, yeah, I saw first.
Now they have contracts with Boohoo, and
So
I
you
saw
only
first
wear this.
because it's
Yeah.
become so huge.
So
what-
back then it's different.
So what I want to know about the
Oh, yeah.
audition bit was,
But I had my little.
Do you wish
sponsor, so
you-
I was happy.
what did they
Yeah.
ask
But I
you?
do wish I wish
In
I
the
went
later
on
stage.
singly. Like I would have rather gone a bombshell in on my own. Like Castamore fucked me over. Like I was going on as a single bombshell, and then they were like, "Oh no, we think you'd be great in this villa. Like it's our first year doing it." So I couldn't. say
And who
no.
did you try and move to anyone? Like who was it? I can't
Chris
even
in
remember.
it, like because I slept in the bed with him on the first night, but just beside him and nothing happened.
Yeah.
But we were like flirting loads. But even on camera, they put China was in the bed. I was in the bed with him. So like I was
Oh
massively fucked
wow!
over.
Wow.
That's
Yeah,
cool.
but I was
China
on
had the
bed-
blonde hair
yeah,
as
but it was
well.
me
No
in the
way.
bed.
China
Yeah.
Ellis, that
Yeah.
girl, yeah.
And she ended up. Did she stick or did she go home? I think she went home.
And then
Oh,
she
she-
done that at BT Weekender show.
Yeah.
But to kind of go
Yeah.
back a little bit,
Yeah.
what I want to find out is when you found out you were going in. So the reason I asked what month was in was because if you kind of were contacted as the show was already on air, you can kind of expect to like go in during Casa Amor or later or whatever. So when did you actually fly to Spain?
So
Had the
so
show
I had been
started?
waiting, like obviously,
Like,
and
is
the
it
show had
economy or is
started.
it
I think it was
private?
already on 4 weeks before Castlemore or
Right
3
then.
weeks. But they rang me that more. So like say Rob, the other Irish lad,
Rob
I found out
Lipson,
this
or whatever they call
afterwards.
him.
They were
Oh,
sent
yeah, you were
over
on
4
with-
days beforehand, and they were in isolation. I got a call that morning saying that your
Yeah.
flight is at 12, and this is at 6 in the morning. They rang me. So the minute I got over, I literally went straight in, got my picture done, I was straight on. But
So,
I had known the longest. day
Did
of
you not
everyone's
do
Oh
any
my God.
lockdown then
No,
for
I
them?
got no lockdown, and I knew the longest day of everyone at Castlemore that I was going in.
And so you'd been told
That's sick,
from
isn't it? Now
March
if you think
Yeah.
like that.
you
that
were going to be an islander and you didn't like obviously then go in at the start or whatever, but in that
I
meantime
was waiting every week, and they
were
were
you
like, "We'll let you
contacted
know."
them saying
Yeah.
like when am I going over, what's the crack?
So they texted
Yeah.
the week before Castlemore, and they were like, "I think you're flying over tomorrow. We'll let you know in the morning, but your bag is packed." And I
See,
was
do you know
like,
the reason for that is with
Go
TV
on.
shows, right? Everything can change because they have a whiteboard and it shows you how much influence they have without you even knowing. Because it was the same with Big Brother. They told me they have a whiteboard and going by the tasks and people and stuff. And if it goes the way they think it's going to go, they can almost know the end result.
that's nuts, isn't
Right?
it? Like proper.
They know what
psychology of
personality
it.
to
No
put in
way.
and
That-
stuff.
oh, you never-
They would
that's
have been
mad, isn't
thinking
it?
of when will Shannen fit in, and they will have had to like. This is why
And
it
who
would
do you
be
think she'd
changing
go
all
for?
the
What's her
time.
type and
Do you
all?
understand?
But they
Now
were
I get
saying
you,
the
yeah.
reason that they had put me and the other bombshells in because they thought we'll create a story. They thought it was going to turn heads.
And this
I
was the
just felt
first
like they were
cast at
already
More.
coupled. It was the first cast at More.
And it
I
was
just felt like we
hard
were
to break it, like-
disadvantaged, yeah, like they were.
Well, it is a huge
And if I
disadvantage.
was
course
thinking
it
about
is.
winning a show like that, I wouldn't turn up after being with someone for 3 weeks and like winning the
Yeah,
public with
true,
that couple.
yeah,
Like,
yeah.
why would I do that? Fuck
Yeah,
up
in
my
fact, the
chances,
person
like,
he left behind wins. Because
Yeah.
look at Greg from Ireland. He went
done
in,
so well.
had a week and a half, the personality of a doorknob, gorgeous, but
Really
that's
good
not, let's be real. And he fucking has like 1 million followers, whatever. And fair play to him.
Just because of her circumstance.
But
He
that's
actually got in at
because
the
of-
right time and won it. Like.
Yeah, and she was a cow as well. But
Who was one
anyways.
of his favourite couples?
Everyone love
Mar is
favourite.
my what?
Would you hook us up?
Yeah.
Thank you.
Mar is one of my favourite. I love
Like,
Mar
what?
as well. She's deadly.
Yeah,
she
she's a
just
great
think of her
personality,
fucking,
but-
you
Do you
know.
know who
But that's the
I-
way to go on and be it. Like
I
I was
love-
holding back.
It was like Kem and Chris were the winners.
Yeah,
Yeah,
no one else.
Yeah,
like,
but they did a song. They did a song and all, didn't they? They made a song,
Yeah,
I
little
think.
rap
and
and all
little
that.
Yeah,
rap.
what
like.
was it
Yeah.
called? Little bit, leave it.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Little bit.
That was them because they actually
They're
started
two
that when we were
cabbages,
in
if you
there and
ask
my
me.
head was drilled with that. And
Yeah.
I was only there for 4
When you
days.
think of
I
it,
was
they
like,
said
oh.
that China was you in the bed. You and her looks like each other.
Yeah, well, with blonde hair, you wouldn't know.
I know, and in the dark and all. What's the crack with like the
Yeah.
whole? Because I know by 2017 they were trying to get stricter
Yeah.
with the whole sex.
Yeah,
and
the sex and all
the
was like much
smoking
going
and
on.
all. Did he tell us? Because I know on Big Brother you're really only allowed a couple of drinks.
Yeah, we were
What's the
only
crack with
literally-
Love Island?
So we had like 2 glasses of wine a night or like a beer. Like you weren't allowed after
Be
that.
placid.
None. Yeah.
How much influence?
like-
After being in the sun though all day, like I'd be able to hold a drink, like.
Yeah.
But after them 2, I actually did feel a bit like it's weird.
Did
It's because
you?
you know that. That's
How
they're
much
getting it, so-
influence has production got over the show? Did he get?
I love this you, we love it, you.
Because my friend Priscilla was on the Winter Love Island. She told me they were told what to do all the time.
No,
I think
that's
it changed
madness,
because
isn't
the
it?
year that I was on it, well, maybe it was just because we were casting more. I think they had more pull in the main villa, but like we were just told, like if you want to go for a chat with someone, come to such and such and tell them, and we'll set it up.
Would they tell
That
you where
makes
to
it
go
really
for the
like-
chat? Like,
Oh
would
yeah,
they
they
say,
would like
doesn't it?
who are you interested in? Like,
Yeah,
if you
but-
want to go for a chat, we're going to sit you.
But I
over
can't
there.
believe yous were getting
But I had
even.
so much chat and they never showed it.
I
That's
can't
bollocks,
believe
isn't
that
it?
yous were
Like-
even getting much production interaction because I never seen any producers when I was on Big Brother. Cry me fuck! I cried about 500
Oh,
times
but
and no one
here,
even
you,
said he
you're,
alright.
but your
That's
your
why I was
diary
losing
room
it.
is iconic.
See, were you allowed to go for
Her
a nap?
that
Because I
fucking
fucking allowed go
Oh,
for a nap.
we were allowed to ask.
That
like, we
thing
had
was
to ask
brilliant.
to go for a nap.
I'll show everyone how dare you.
No one fucking asked me if I alright.
my
Fuck
God.
you,
What-
Shannon.
What about
Maybe
your
we were
mental
getting
health, you?
pampered.
Mental health. Do I look mentally well to you?
No.
Wouldn't be sorry if it was.
Aren't we all?
No, but listen, guys, I want to hear all this part.
Yeah,
so,
sorry,
now you're
sorry,
saying
go on.
you could have asked to go for a nap and they let you and all.
Would you?
Yeah, like no. Say if they were like you really need a break, like 'cause it's hot and like after a few hours you get sick of people.
Yeah.
So like I remember I never took a nap because I was only there for a few days. I was like getting me on the fucking TV. I was
Yeah,
doing
of
everything. I
course,
just
yeah,
didn't
like-
show it. But I remember Chris one day he went in for an hour, but he constantly wanted to nap. Now if that was because he was missing her, I don't know. But
Missing
But do you
who?
reckon it was because he got?
Was with, the other
Do you reckon
fella.
it was because
Oh,
he got
yeah, yeah.
leeway because he knew he was a big character?
Yeah, he knew he was a big star.
Did
so
they
gotta let him
know?
away,
Do you
like-
think them guys did by that point 4 weeks in?
Oh, you know, because
Did
we had
so-
come in and we picked
I'm
them up.
loving
I was
this
like, oh my, because
conversation.
we were all like, oh, we can't believe we've been watching you. Like, they're like, how are we getting on at home? And we're like,
What
oh
are you
my
all
God,
asking?
like, you're so loved.
You were
like,
so
they
famous.
were,
Oh,
I
with
actually
the
remember
Ash, you
telling
don't
them
know?
that, because I was like, how many followers are you on beforehand? They were like, 400. I was like, oh, you're on 1 million now. And he was like, it was
Yeah, but
John,
would-
like,
I-
he was
were you
like,
told-
"That's it."
already
Oh, they knew.
huge.
They
But were you
knew.
told not to tell them things?
Yeah, of course.
We actually, because I only flew over and then I went for my photo win, so I didn't really get much
But
instruction.
Shannon,
I just
that's
handed
not
my phone over. I was like,
That's
"Bye."
not okay though, because there's a reason why they need to have
To
the
put you in
lockdown and
lockdown.
hide it
Yeah, it was.
and take your phone off you, so that you start to mentally
Yeah.
feel
like
you're
yeah, I was
able
just
to
thrown
do
in.
that.
I remember my like few
That's
days
not
there.
okay.
I constantly was thinking, and I was like, when we got back into lockdown, we got kicked out. We were like on strict lockdown, and I ran down to the pool, and I met some.
Well done, monks.
I met some random like English woman by the pool, and I was like, oh, I'm over here, and my phone's at a break, and I need to ring home because I couldn't tell her I was on the show. That's how attached I was to my phone. I just wanted to get in contact with the outside world. Like,
No way.
No, I
Yeah.
can't believe
I
that
wasn't
though.
used to not having the
How
phone.
quick that
Yeah,
was.
lockdown.
So in the space for a week, you went from then finding out you were going over to doing the show to then
And then
being
just
out. And that is a head fuck because you must have woke
Course.
up
But I
one
had known
day.
for a month, and at one stage I was like, am I even going? I've signed contracts, everything, like, am I going? And they ring me at 6 in the morning, your flight's at 11, and then I go over and I'm thrown in an hour later. I
Yeah.
know, mate, I remember being like, this is the worst I could look going in there. 'Cause I was so unprepared, even though I was mentally prepared for months.
Yeah, I get
Yeah.
It
you.
was just like,
See,
thrown
I
in,
feel like they should have had you.
I should have been
definitely
in lockdown like everyone else
because
over there, you know what I mean?
of the bit of Irish diversity and stuff. Because has it ever pissed you off as well? Because I see some characters in that show,
I'm
and
loving this.
they get a lot of followers and they get
Proper
some work
insight this
done.
is.
The reason
So you
why they
should be
get
happy.
work, guys, is because of the monster that the show is. It's not even because they've anything to offer. But has it ever pissed you off? Someone who've like got doorknob personalities and they've ended up more happened.
Example,
to them
give me an
because
example.
They were in the right place at the right time.
Give me an
That's what
example.
I commented
Examples.
on my own.
Zara McDermott, that one who was on.
But her fella is funny. I think he drags her along.
Oh.
Sam Thompson.
Yeah, like he's so
But what I
funny,
mean
so
is,
I think he gives her a
she
bit of
stayed on Love Island for ages just because she ended up in the right situation.
it coupled up.
But she's not. She didn't have a good personality at all.
Funny, no.
How old Gemma Lucy
Like-
on it was funny.
Can't stand Gemma Lucy, the fucking
Was she on
cow.
Love Island? Actually?
No, she's on Ex on the Beach.
Was she not on Love
No,
Island?
she's punched me in the past.
What?
Did she?
No way.
She did in Sheffield one night in 2017.
Ah, for
because
fuck's sake,
With
man.
you mutual mates, and we got really
She
drunk.
does seem like that.
She
though.
just left Celebrity Big
Yeah,
Brother.
she fucking.
And do you know what she
she's-
turned around and she done? She left Celebrity Big Brother, and that was when Big Brother was on the downhill. So no one was saying
I love it, Huey.
right? And
You were on the downhill episode.
scruffy cow was like,
This.
do you want to go to Asda, guys? Because we've got mutual friends. And my good friend who owns Miss Hudson's Aesthetics in Manchester.
Oh, she's friends with my friend Denise.
Yeah, because
I
her
love this
brother's is from
no-name
town,
friend.
right?
Oh, right.
Yeah, I have a
And
mate up
her
in
their
Cork
ma's
down
a
there.
traveller, Georgie McDonough, and they're Gemma knows them, and that's how I met Gemma.
Yeah.
And she was like to us one day in the shop. It's in Cheetham Hill, in like her lip filler shop. Oh, do you want to go to Asda? I want to see how many people recognise me because she just got out
Stop.
Big Brother.
Oh my
And I
god.
was like,
But even
No
think like that though, if you had that
way.
level, you know what I mean?
yeah,
Like,
especially when you've already
That's a
done
bit-
telly.
yeah.
Oh yeah, I thought she
I
came
do
on.
that
that's
sometimes.
beggy, isn't it?
And she
Yeah,
like
that is.
Going into golden. What's
yeah,
I
and she
sit in the
punched
gaff and say,
and
oh,
she
I'm going
punched
censor
me.
there, see how many people
She
know
punched
me.
me in a nightclub in Sheffield.
And what did you do? Response?
I was just in shock, but I was fucking.
Hope you trailed her over.
Hope you grabbed her by the pubes.
I would've.
Dragged her.
I would've
And
a boxer up and
a
down the
load
road.
of the Towie lot was all there because my friend Charlie was doing the PA with them and they were fucking stuck up their arses and I was looking at them thinking, you bunch of fools. You're
Are
all
they all
fucking
like
Towie."
all
No
reality
way.
TV stars?
Yeah.
Are they like that?
I
Like
think in the UK
They think
do
they're really
have a level,
famous.
like, yeah.
there is a different level,
there's
isn't
people
there?
like that here, like I'm not gonna name any names, but like events in Dublin
Examples.
are shit. You get like a bag of popcorn and a fucking lip gloss, like they're quite shy, and it's like in
Is
the
it Manhattan
centre.
popcorn though?
Yeah, but
Oh, I
like
love it.
go centre of my
Yeah,
life.
do you know what
But
it's
like no,
Go
but
on,
like
how-
I've
I'm
been
here
at
for this,
events
go on.
and they've been like well, they're actually bigger now than what they were then. But they stand there and look me up and down, and wouldn't say hello,
Like
and I'd be
Devogue
like, hi.
Williams and all.
Yeah, no, she's no, not her. I mean, like smaller influences that are
That
big bigger
think,
now.
yeah.
They are big now, but like.
Here, we
I was
have
just like-
examples of that, like from texting people, like to come on here and they'd
But
have
why
fuck
be
all
rude,
followers
like-
and be like, I'm seeing what I'm doing that day. Like,
I
And
just,
you're
don't
like,
like
come
me. They
on.
don't even get as much hate as the likes of me or probably you
Yeah.
get, and we're down to earth. Well, I think.
Yeah, is
that.
there?
I'm
Yeah,
very
yeah,
down
yeah.
to earth.
Yeah,
I'm
but like
from
you're
Ballymun.
normal, like I'm
You
from
have to-
Tala, like these two.
Yeah.
we're all it. Yeah.
How
But you
he's
like
getting
don't
on.
forget where you come from. Like even if you end up doing well, like I could come here and I could be like proper prim and proper what I'm saying, but I'm
you
a
mean, we're
fucking
fucking pouring
traveller
your
from
drinks all night?
Ballymun. Do you know what I mean? Shut up, you pouring your drinks on. You robbed him
He
from
just
the
does
fucking
that.
shop.
That's what he does. He just does that
But,
and we get up.
I wanted like talk a bit more about Love Island if that's
I want to
okay.
go.
Yeah, let's go.
Yeah, so we go to Big Brother
Yeah,
in a
we'll
second,
mix
but
it
give me
up.
a bit more gossip.
Come on,
Right,
oh no,
come
can
on.
we get into now what
Do you know
I found
what? I'll actually
interesting?
tell you something real juicy.
Give
that
me
actually
juicy.
hasn't
Alright, come on.
told
Oh my,
anyone
hold
else.
on, let
Hold
me
on,
Did
let me
any of
sit
them
up.
have
Let me
sex that we don't know
let me
about?
sit
Let
up.
me
No,
get
I wish
set.
I did.
Are you ready for this?
Hold on, I'm
so
sorry. Let me hold his
so
knee
Steve
while you
went to
tell
the
us.
reunion. Ooh. So the
Let me hold
reunion
his foot
party,
while you
right?
tell us.
Oh, fuck
Quick.
off, I'm
Oh,
gonna
let
press
me
my
hold
hand.
his
Hold
knee
on.
and his foot while you tell us. Quick.
I love the feeling of your hand on my leg.
It's getting very hot in here.
It's
I know.
getting hot and
Listen,
heavy on the
sweating.
government's
You
level.
get away from me,
Yeah.
I'm sweating now.
I don't know if it's from
You
doing
look
sunbed
gorgeous
or
this
what.
time of scene, yeah?
Hey, give me
You're
that
actually
fucking
going
thing.
right.
Oh my god.
Right, so basically went to the reunion party. So that happens a few weeks after the show.
Yeah.
So I was like, I actually had a party in my room.
In
right?
London, in London.
Yeah,
Yeah,
so where did
come
we
on.
say?
Obviously, you're a tallyhead. You have to have a party in your
Yeah,
room.
course.
of course it was an
Yeah.
area. I'm fucking idiot.
Love
Like,
it.
oh God,
Irish,
was
of
that?
I'm that
course.
person.
I have a
So-
story to tell in the next one.
Right, so coming up the landing, there's a few of us stumbling up. Like,
Who was the few?
locked.
Which of them?
Who was it? Me, Sam Gowland. You probably know
Yeah,
Sam.
the lo-
Sam Gowland, that
Yeah,
was
Rob,
Geordie.
Rob, obviously. Chloe Crowhorse, she's one of my like really
Yeah,
good
my
friends.
friend
We're best
Charlie's friends with Chloe
yeah.
Crowhurst.
Who else was it? It was Georgia, because she was with Sam at the time.
Georgia
Who
Harrison.
else?
Georgia
was it? It was
Harrison.
Johnny Mitchell. There was a good few anyway. Like
Yeah.
there was loads. They all went to the fucking room.
Come on.
But as we're walking up the hall, like around the top floor, Chris is sitting outside on the floor. Olivia had locked him out of the room. So they were toxic from day one.
They were
And he
toxic
came
from
down
day
to our room, came into the party. So we went up, banged on the door. She came down. She's like, who are you to me at the door.
Did she?
Yeah, she never spoke to us. None of the girls never spoke to us. The
Is
big
that your
ones.
one Olivia Jade with the blood?
No, she is deadly, and I think she's very real. But this is at the time.
So you're
But
trying to tell me that some of the
she
ones
had
that got
locked him out of
far
the
in the
room.
show.
Oh yeah, she
I
goes,
actually
who are you?
stuck
Were
up
And I was
toxic
like,
from the start.
she goes, who are you at the door? And I was like, well, he's in our
But
room.
who
You
did
locked
he
him
think
out.
that
Like,
he are?
come on.
Dude, that's not nice because at the end of the day, you could have went in at the start and got into the right place at the right time as well.
Yeah.
And be
And-
exact same level as
And
them. But,
that, who
just
did
on
he
the same
think that
show.
you are?
But no, I do think she's great, and that's the only time I ever spoke to her, ever, like whatever. But it was funny that she had locked him out of the room, and then she let him back in, like
Because you were all there, she let him back in, like.
I don't know.
Would
She goes,
you-
who are you? I was
oh,
like,
No,
just
I
one second,
would.
I
what
want
are
to
you
ask a
doing?
few
Yeah.
things.
Yeah,
because
go,
that
walk
I
away.
do actually like her on social media.
Yeah, he's flying at
That
the old
series
fucking house.
blew up so much.
That
Did,
was the biggest series.
do you know
wasn't
like
it?
that?
Yeah.
To start it off.
Do you
like-
know
Yeah.
that after party? Did everyone have to be careful? Like, was there loads of paps outside and all? I bet there was. Was
Well,
it crazy?
Oh,
A
the
weird
app, I'd say
moment
there
in
was.
time.
But like, was something coming from Dublin that you're not used to? Like, you obviously know
Yeah, like
that,
how did you
it's very
climate to
different.
that? Was it hard?
Did you get that?
It was just
But I
smooth, like.
haven't. I suppose because I haven't got loads of friends that have like millions of followers. I've seen it a few times at like events, the reality television awards and all. So this is what I mean about like the Love Island after party, the first like huge series, the first series when everyone got like, well, a good few got loads of followers online. Like Kim and Chris got
Loads.
a fucking deal,
Yeah.
music deal,
Yeah,
Universal
loads,
Records.
yeah.
So
That's
shows you how
crazy,
big
isn't
that
it? Like,
was.
How?
But isn't
So-
that frustrating being on the same show and just not getting the airtime to get to where they got
know,
to?
so I
Like,
just-
do
It
find
is
that
quite. I'd say
frustrating.
how does like how
And then like,
obviously
people are like,
affected
do
you
you
as
not
well.
have like a personality at all? And you're like, I actually do, but I didn't get a chance to show it.
You
Like, I
think they-
hardly went into the interview and stuff.
There's probably another angle looking at
you.
you.
Know what I
I
mean?
reckon they discriminated against you because you're Irish.
I thought that year they did, and then
They probably
obviously
did.
More was year and stuff. The Irish blew up. I
Yeah,
do
but
think
Maura,
that we didn't
Maura
get a
got messed
fair-
around a bit though,
Did
because
she?
Maura said it herself, because Maura had been axed 3 years in a row, but she always ended up having a fella. Because
Okay, right.
when Maura's final happened, they asked me to do the entertainment segment on one of the TV3 shows for it, and Maura's family came, and Maura's sister was telling me off camera
She's
about
actually really
this.
nice, isn't she?
She was called Becky, right?
Hello,
And-
Becky.
Hello, Becky.
You're watching.
Becky with the good hair.
Maura's sister said that she'd been asked a few times, and then she ended up doing that season, but Maura again had this issue where you're flying over today, you're flying over tomorrow, you're flying
Oh,
over
did
today, you're flying
she?
over
So
tomorrow.
it was still
Then
waiting
Maura
there.
Isn't that mad? That's an issue,
Maura was
isn't
in
it?
like 2
You
weeks.
wouldn't
or
see
something.
any of
Should
this
be
shit
set,
though,
like,
wouldn't
it
you
should
know?
be set in
Imagine
stone.
now you're saying you're getting
'Cause
lift
it's
here
like,
and
we
there
weren't
and
supposed
everywhere.
to tell anyone. Obviously, you never told anyone you were
Oh,
going
but I'd
on.
say that's
I had told
frustrating.
friends, and then it was leaked around Dublin that I was going on Love Island.
See, it was
And then
in
all
the
of a
sun.
sudden,
I
there
remember
wasn't
that.
going on. So I'm like,
Do you remember that?
do people think I was fucking lying
now,
about that?
yeah, but
And
now
then,
that
like,
you
obviously
say,
went-
do you
I
think that
remember that.
affected you though?
Do you remember people?
I remember people saying that you were going on it.
When Maura
I told the wrong
then
people,
went
obviously.
in, it's obviously what Maura done. Maura went
But I
out
just
to
couldn't
get
keep
running. Maura went out to get running and done exactly what the public wanted was,
Yeah.
I'm going to fucking shag him and I don't care if she likes him.
But that's the way to
And
be.
they all
But
sat
I just
crying
held
over
back.
it.
I would think of being hated
That
for that.
yeah,
But is
that's
that your
I
real
would.
personality to do that
No,
anyways?
it's not.
So then
So I
don't do
couldn't
that.
do it, and I wouldn't
Yeah.
want to be seen
be your,
that
yeah,
way.
be
I
yourself.
would.
You know what I mean?
So exactly, you
There's
were
benefits
yourself
of it, obviously.
and you've
but-
nothing to regret.
Like what you're saying, you could have went on and been someone else, but you didn't.
Yeah,
No,
I think
no.
Maura is that's her banter.
Yeah,
And
like-
maybe
Yeah.
sometimes that's the bad side of TV because they want people that aren't themselves.
And you
Yeah,
can't
true.
escape that image
No,
sometimes.
I know, and then people would think that's you all the time, and I wouldn't like that either.
For
Like,
sure. And if Maura had left after 3-4 days, she wouldn't have got the work she got because she ended up getting popular. The public with the slut shaming of women, companies wouldn't have wanted to associate themselves with her just for
Yeah.
that convo.
Yeah, true.
yeah, so
Yeah.
she
It's
got
only
to get
because
herself
Yeah,
better
she
yeah,
turned
yeah.
it around and she
Yeah.
became
But she had the
empowering
time
and
to
all
do
of
it.
that.
She was there for like
She was there for
weeks,
2
wasn't
months or
she? Yeah.
something.
That's mad. Like 2 months in.
But it's mad to hear all that shit that goes on in the background because
We
people
never
that
see
are watching
that.
the
Like,
telly
us-
just
us
see
normal
Yeah.
Joe soaps and never see
the
that.
cutted version. You
Like,
don't see all the fucking
For
about.
example, I filmed this show on RT last year. My dad called. It was a celebrity version of Pulling with My Parents. And now I was only in one episode, and there was a different
I was
family.
asked to do that. Was
Was
that a
you
celebrity
really?
guest for the day with the parents?
No, so my dad and so this normally the show it's a show about like son's sex and suspicious
Yeah.
parents. It's a bit like that.
Oh yeah, you remember
Your
that?
mum or dad or your mum and your
They help you
auntie
pull someone
help
and they
you go
watch
on
the
the
date
pull.
and all, don't
So
they?
they've done
Yeah,
a
they do.
season where they either had the contestant was somebody off the media or the telly, or their parent was. So I was on it with my dad and a family friend, and then do you know the Nolan family, like Colleen Nolan and whatever.
Yeah, yeah.
One of the Nolan sisters, she's obviously well known from the Nolan sisters band.
Yep.
She done it with her daughter and her friend or whatever. So I was on it, and I was only in that one episode.
It's very warm in here.
Half of the episode.
I'm
I
sorry
just see
about
him,
that.
like-
And have a guess how long it took. Have a guess how long it took
For
to film half an episode. 6-7 full days.
What?
Full days.
and,
for
take, and they're just taking the best
Wow.
clips. Like,
25
Basic
minutes
fortune.
on the telly.
it's shocking, isn't
7
it?
full days
That's-
for 25 minutes.
That's
on
what I'm
the telly.
saying. Like for
Telly's very different. People
for the
need to see
days
it.
for the
Yeah,
days
you
you
don't-
were there, the
yeah.
time that they gave it is shocking. Do you know what I
People
mean?
think
Yeah,
it's
isn't
Like
it
you're-
like?
It's not easy.
Like I literally, the only bit that I got on that was kissing Marcel, like, which I'll never.
Did
live
you
down.
kiss Marcel?
Yeah, which is it was.
Oh
a
my
game,
God, remember
but I ended up
Marcel?
kissing
Was
him
he
twice.
getting with Gabby that time?
Yeah, but I
Wow.
love Gabby. I have to say, she's such a doll. She's
Wow.
Such a nice
And are
person,
you
like-
ever in contact with the people you were with?
Yeah, I'd be very close to Chloe. We were
With
like
Chloe.
my best friend. Like I visit
Very
her
good
all the time. She's
friends.
pregnant at the minute.
Yeah.
But yeah, like she'd be really good. Like,
And
good
Chloe
friends
is-
and
Chloe Crowhurst.
Crowhurst, yeah.
Oh.
Sorry,
Yeah,
I don't
she
know if you
is.
know.
Like that situation there happened to you. Like it's something you were kissing a friend and it just fucking went viral or something. And
No,
stupid
you
went
have
viral.
got that, like pictured wrong. Like
Yeah,
oh,
pictured
remember
wrong.
the
Yeah,
fucking
pictured
sex
wrong.
video come
wrong.
out.
Like it looks
What's
something
And
that
then-
it wasn't.
The last
like,
podcast we
basically.
did.
What sex video?
The last podcast we did.
Fuck you. shut up. I
Don't say
think
on
Oh,
about that.
the most viral photo was obviously the fake tan
Yeah,
photo.
true,
That
yeah.
one's
Yeah,
the
but
most
I think
viral.
that's iconic.
That's so funny.
is.
That's hilarious.
But
That's
for
like,
you to get trolled over that, I just don't get that. It's so innocent and
Well, let's
funny.
get into
People
trolling.
look at that in
But
a bad
what?
way.
But what
like-
would he troll you over?
Let's
I
get
don't
into
understand.
trolling.
Yeah.
What's
Well,
going
like
on?
there's been situations that happened online, which obviously I like from years ago that I wish that I handled like better. Like
Better,
obviously with age
okay.
and stuff, and we, you know, when it comes like
Yeah.
after years, you know how to
Can
do
we
things
elaborate
better.
for the audience? I don't know what we're talking about.
Like different situations. Like I set up a company a few years ago, and it didn't go the way I wanted to go,
Okay.
and
was this
like-
the modelling agency?
Yeah, and
COVID
I-
hit, did it?
yeah, it did hit. But just before that, like I wouldn't put my name to something, and I wouldn't have 20, say, 2 girls at events with brands that I work with beside me if it was going to be a scam or out and bad. Like,
Yeah.
I wouldn't put my name out there to be
And to
destroyed
be
because
seen
it
with
did
that.
destroy my life. And I wouldn't have them on my own social media, pushing them. You know, people knew I was involved with them. I had a page set up for it and I tagged them every single
I
day.
remember it.
So I wouldn't have them out in my company. They were
Yeah.
getting pap shots, they were in the Herald, they were getting places. And like I know from experience, like I paid, my mum used to pay €250, I think it was, to be on the books, say for assets and
And to
stuff.
start a
And you pay
portfolio.
for that, and you're on the books, but sometimes you wouldn't get work. But is that a scam because you paid for them? Do you want
Yeah,
your
I
money back
get
because you
you,
didn't
yeah.
get anywhere?
That's
but these
kind
were
of-
actually actings, and I understand where they're coming from. And the only thing that I will put my hand up and say is maybe I took too much on. There was like maybe I could have managed 10 on my own. You know, it
Too
was,
many
I blew
people.
up
How many
about
did you
40
take
people
on?
wanted on. I think it was over 20. But I did involve them in every single thing, and it came to a point where it was like, why is she getting work and I'm not? And it was
But that's
hard to
not your
manage, and it was
fault.
something that I set up to be positive. I never had a big group of girlfriends. I always got bullied by girls, so I wanted an environment for other girls, and I wanted girls to get out there the way I did.
Yeah, because
So it was really positive, and it turned negative. And maybe at the time I didn't handle the situation correctly. Maybe I did take too much on, but my intention setting up was never anything
Was
bad.
always
I
good,
wanted them to do
yeah.
well. You know, some of them I passed my friend. They came out with us for dinner, like places I was being invited to on my own behalf as an influencer for food and stuff. They were at my boyfriend's company. They were given lifts. They were
So you
like
weren't,
really,
you
they
weren't,
were classed as friends,
Yeah.
some
Yeah.
of them. And I remember even that day, like one of them texted me and they were like, I see it all blown up online. I don't agree with what they're saying. I got loads out of it. You know, you've done so much
Yeah,
for
so
me.
they're still
And 12
good.
hours later, they were on the story saying they didn't get anything out of it and it was a scam.
That's
So to
madness,
me, that
isn't it?
doesn't add up.
so what
And
obviously
it
came...
does, it just really hurt me. And like, it's just something that I felt like I don't need to address because I know the truth. And
Yeah.
I already addressed it. And I just felt like it comes up every few months. And to me,
Yeah, I
I'm
see
still
it
bringing it up.
I see it
Why
constantly.
still bring it up unless it is
I've
for-
had people
Yeah.
talk
You
about
know.
that in person
But you don't know
with
them, so
me,
don't
and
go off.
what I've actually said to them
True,
was,
that is
is this
true
a
as
good
well.
I take
analogy?
people for how I meet
Is
them,
this a
yeah.
good analogy? Because you kind of explained this to me a bit in the past, ages ago. And by the way, Shannen actually months ago showed me loads of screenshots of when people were refunded and sent back money
all
and stuff.
the
I've
revenue.
actually seen
and some of them
Yes.
I did only send partial refunds because in
Yeah.
my time it was my
You
time.
do, you were
it
saying you
was
still
my
have them
whatever.
anyways.
Yeah,
and
like-
it was a business I was setting up, and
Course.
as a business you can obviously declare that at the end of the year.
Yeah.
You know, so I was setting up to see how it went. I had full intentions in it. There was so much. And then when they started asking for refunds, they were giving them, but some partial because I was like,
But
I
you
did
have to
time and effort. You were
understand it.
Yeah,
acting.
true.
If you signed up to
But
the
maybe
gym,
I didn't set it up right, you know.
Yeah,
like I
ex-
do.
that's a
Maybe
good
I took
one.
on too
right,
much.
if you
but
Exactly.
signed up to the gym
my intentions were.
and you don't end up with the body that you want by the end of
You
that.
gotta go.
day.
Yeah,
You're
yeah,
telling
you don't-
me
that's
cheating
a
is
good
a
point.
refund.
to
Of
money.
course.
And you still have to put
That's
in
a
the
good
time.
point.
Just
Exactly. I knew
because
exactly
I
what
went
he's
on
gonna
Big
say.
Brother,
Yeah.
right? I had an agent.
Well, you can't be
I-
famous overnight either.
Shannon, I
Or
had an
get 1,000
agent
followers overnight.
after
Yeah.
Big Brother that I'm still
Yeah.
friends with now.
Why
There
you
was
have
a
an agent?
tiny point when I was a bit.
There's only out there.
Listen to this.
Do you wanna be
lads.
my agent?
I had an agent at a point, right?
Right.
You'd be a good agent.
Who was in the
I would.
music industry. And they didn't really know much about telly, but we started working together. I left Big Brother and got to do Dancing with the Stars. It was a great fee. They got a big percentage of it, and my club PAs I done at the time. But that was as far as anything that happened, and I felt like they didn't probably know what directions to put me in,
Yeah.
whatever. But I know they didn't intend on
To
that.
do anything bad
And I
or-
don't
Yeah.
look at it and think you need to give me back all my money, because they still done what they were doing at that time.
Yeah.
They still went to my meetings with me for RT, and
Yeah.
you set up those photo shoots for those girls that they would have had to pay for anyways to have a
Yeah,
portfolio.
exactly, yeah.
You brought
I
them to
remember
all of
being
them
like,
events.
Oh, the events is under your name though. But
No,
I
it's up
was
to you
like,
to. It's up to
I'm,
them to.
I'm involving you in what
They
I'm
have to
getting. You
network
won't
Yeah,
get it
exactly.
on your own.
Come here,
So,
at the
yeah.
end of the day, right, when you think about it,
I just
you've
felt like I
over
was a bit hard
20
done
you've
by.
over 20 girls that
Well,
are trying to
20
make a
people saying
name,
that
that are
the
trying
sky
to
is green, and I know it's blue.
Yeah.
What would you believe? The
they're
20
trying to
just
make a
want
name for
to
themselves,
check
so
on
they're
that
just
defense.
gonna keep putting pressure on you
Yeah.
anyways. Like you've over 20 women trying to make a name for themselves.
But you
Yeah,
know,
Do you know what I mean?
like,
So it's
I'm
gonna
not
be
putting
tough.
them down or anything else. Like if they
what
believe
was
such
your
and such, then-
intention when you set it up? What
My
was the
intention was just to
proposal to
kind of-
people? What did you say to people?
Like I just, because I had run an event a few months before that for Miss Ireland. I ran in Miss Dublin West where
Yeah.
I had like plenty of celebrity judges over in the Red Cow. You actually knew about
Yeah.
that earlier.
was that David
Yeah.
McIntosh?
Yeah, and they're all
all
friends
those?
of mine, and that went so successful. And like I had the whole day set up so good, and I was like, so many girls actually want to do this. And because I knew how much, like, the girls that day had a lot of respect for me, and I kind of grew to them, and they were texting the week after me, like, if there's ever any events, will you
Let us know.
So I was like, that's room for business, like,
Yeah.
you know, there's not Instagram and stuff like
Right,
that.
there's
And
a
I'm
lot
like,
of it
come on,
going on.
once there's something at your name, it
Yeah.
kind of, you're an easy target.
And
in
you
my
know,
opinion,
Shannon, people
so-
doesn't let go of stuff. So, in the sense, that can kind of bring you comfort. But it's like, I
But
know
to be
you.
honest,
I know you're
wouldn't-
talking
I don't wanna
rubbish
change
about me.
anyone's mind on what they say
Yeah.
about me. I'm like, if you thought that in the beginning,
Yeah,
or
like-
you can even say that about another human being without meeting them firsthand, then let you on.
Did
like,
that kind of
I
begin
don't-
where the trolling for you started? Was then, or did you ever used to get it before?
Like I would have got trolling like online years ago on Facebook when it came to like situations with my ex, which is very public. But
Yeah.
like with Love Island, I think I kind of gained respect again.
Nicer.
Kind of like nicer, yeah.
Yeah.
And then
Then
it's
this
only
time,
even
yeah.
after that went on for about 4 months, and then every few weeks we brought up again on certain
Yeah.
of the girls' pages, and it kind of never left. And then there'd be more added and stuff like crazy
Yeah.
stuff that I wouldn't even, that never even happened, and I'd be like, oh.
Was that 4
Okay.
months horrific for you to deal with? And
But
stuff?
Mentally,
my
like-
page actually got hacked at the same time, so
Fuck
I couldn't
off.
get into my Instagram, and I thought it was gone forever. But to be honest, I'm happy that I was off for that stage.
'Cause
Because
you couldn't
I
see
couldn't
all
have-
of it.
Shit,
yeah.
yeah.
It would have
And
affected you
I
more.
kinda-
Like
I just stayed with Luke, my partner, and he helped me through
Thank
it a lot,
God.
and like family.
Fair play to him.
And it was
anyway.
lockdown. There was nothing open, so I didn't have to face an event. It wasn't missing work because there was nothing to do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, but like I was in a very, very bad place. Like I didn't want to live anymore, and that's how much it brought me down. Like
Yeah,
and I
I'd
was
say
worried at
that's-
the top,
that's
so it brought
shocking, like,
everything
innit?
back up for
Did
me.
it
and
did it bring
just-
that back for you as like a teenager? Because you said that you've been bullied as a teenager and stuff. So
And I hate playing
Did it
that
bring-
bullying card. Like I'm not a victim. Like I'm
Yeah.
strong enough. I'm still
No.
sitting here now, but
Yeah.
like,
No,
and I
it's
put
real,
myself
it's
out
what
there, so
happened.
it's gonna happen if you're known. I do think that comes with it.
Wha-
But like it brought me to such a low place, and I didn't think I was
Yeah.
gonna come back from it. And that was just the way it was. And I just
Well, sorry
I didn't
to hear
want to
that.
be here anymore.
Look,
But it
It's
came
still
with it,
there,
and
though.
obviously wires got mixed, and they think something, I think something. But sure, look, I think I done my
look,
best.
you did everything.
You
with
know
good
in your
intentions.
heart
I
what you
did,
meant,
and I
yeah.
have screenshots.
and
of
you know how
back
people
and
can
stuff,
jump
so.
onto bandwagons. And as I said, there could
I
have
think
been.
it is like that though. Once someone sees something trend, you're gonna jump
Yeah,
on
and
it.
girls,
And it's
girls
easy to
being
believe
jealous
something
as
when
well.
you see it online.
There's
you
a
know what I
mixture.
mean?
There's three things. There's,
Well, I
there's
thought
one.
they loved me at the start.
There's
so I
people
wouldn't say
being
jealous,
naive.
you know.
Then there's a side where there is people that are just not nice. Other people that are just not nice. And then there's another side where there's people just jumping onto the bandwagon that don't even know what they're even on.
Yeah.
This is what trolling is.
Yeah.
And this is what I think in your situation, a lot of the girls could have been very naive. And then just to bear trolling in the first place, there's a lot of people online that probably weren't even part of that situation.
And they
that are
just
just
jump
jumping
on
on
it.
the
Pile on,
bandwagon.
just
It'd
a
be a lot
pile
And
of
on.
are
outsiders
complete
not even in that
haters
situation.
that have
Yeah.
nothing better to be doing. I've seen that particular website and all the stuff they say with people on it. I've seen the comments, and like I know even you yourself, you're saying like you just let things go over your head. But I'll sit here and I'll say I think people like that are complete and utter
But even
scumbags.
if
Yeah,
you got, like,
they're-
as
And I
said
feel
earlier,
so
like,
sorry
Leeches,
for them.
man, they're
I
leeches.
feel
But
so
I
sorry
dislike
for
people,
them.
and I wouldn't spend my day looking at them, commenting on them, trolling them, trying to hurt them.
Like,
I
there's
would
so
block
much
them 'cause I
energy
don't want to
taken
look at
out of
them.
your
I don't
day.
like
Clearly
them,
they're not
so-
hating. Clearly,
Yeah.
clearly they're actually
There's
loving,
some-
but they
yeah.
hate themselves.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Like, would you
it's-
get much trolling online?
I've got to be honest, it's mostly only been connected to that fake tan photo and the whole you're blackfacing and you're making fun of black. And I'm like,
Would that be
shut up.
more Americans?
It was only since the American show.
So you would have much
Yeah.
Irish hate.
But I got a lot of travellers were abusive about my sexuality. For sure I did. A lot of internal.
And do you reckon that
statement
affects you
travellers did.
mentally?
No, I'm grand. It affected my family. But
course.
do you know what? My ex-boyfriend didn't really know how to deal with that whole culture clash in a way. So it affected me mentally because of what it caused me at home.
Right.
But when I really should have been supported in it, but that's another conversation. But I feel like I've got stronger to it. I've got a lot stronger to it.
Yeah.
But now that doesn't mean that I haven't. See, I know what it's like to be in the hot water because I seen what happened a few months ago when I done that American show and that fake tan thing from years ago. People
just
brought up
fuck- there's just
trying to
mo-
find
mo-
something.
not even-
So
Just
this
to dig up
is. So
dirt
I know
on
how that
someone,
feels.
Yeah.
That boat
Yeah.
you've been in, and I'm telling you now, you don't know what it's like until you've been in that position. And when you really care about your work and your career, and you've fought for like years and years to get somewhere, when some people have gone on a show and they blew up, like I didn't blow up because I've been on Big Brother. Any work I've ever got, it's taken years of networking
work
to
and
get
build.
there.
Of course,
Yeah.
And
people
it's only-
don't see
it's
the
only
build up
last
in the
year I've got
background
more
going on.
stuff, right? So I care a lot about what I do. So therefore, you've got that in your head. It's different for others that don't give a shite. They'll delete Instagram and think, "Oh, fucked a lot of ye." We have to
Yeah,
care
it's the work,
sometimes
it's the job.
because it's
Yeah.
our industry we
Yeah.
want to be in.
Yeah,
And
exactly.
then we have a lot of ignorant bastards that say, "Oh, well, that comes with the territory."
Like I do think I said a minute ago, it comes with it because I've been accustomed to feel like I do deserve it because
Yeah,
I
you've
put
no
myself
choice,
out there.
sort of.
And I understand if you put yourself out there, but my family don't put themselves out
No,
there.
they don't.
Yeah,
My
your family
boyfriend,
don't
his family,
deserve all
and they've
that
been
shit, yeah.
targeted. And they don't have, like, they shouldn't be even allowed to have their name on a certain form.
No.
Yeah.
And they've been messaged and their screenshots and their pictures and stuff put up. So I just think that's so dangerous,
Yeah. It's
involving
fucked up,
people
like, to
just
be
because of
honest.
me. And it makes me feel bad. I'm like, they don't deserve
Yes,
that
I've
either,
often
you
had
know
that.
what
I've
I mean?
often had to have a
Yeah.
chat with my family and stuff when they've been like, maybe keep a few things to yourself, Huey. And I'm like,
It's Simos.